These days, home buyers are looking for real value. And while price is important, real value isn't just about today, it's also about all the days to come. Because as the years go by, a well-designed home will improve your life. And a well-built home will keep looking good day after day. At Dale Alcock Homes, we've built a reputation for homes that are good value for today and for tomorrow.
All right, well now we've got a slightly different segment. We've talked a lot about residential investment. We've got here John Mair and Rob Sleator from Mair & Co. We specialise in inner city apartments, commercial real estate and property syndicates. And what on earth might those be? Talking to the expert, John Mair. Thanks for coming along today. Tell us the difference, John, about commercial real estate investing as opposed to residential investment.
Basically, we usually make more money.
Right.
And,
who makes more money?
The investors.
The investor makes more money.
The investors makes more money. And one of the reasons is that if you've got a tenanted property, like a shop or a factory, the tenant, under the terms of his lease, is responsible for paying all the outgoings. Right. And generally, we're able to show the investors returns of 8% plus on their investment. And then they get the capital growth on top of that.
But the capital growth, is that right, not usually as strong as in residential? Or is that a myth?
It varies.
Right.
And to give you an example, with our property trusts, which we run, and we've been doing it for a number of years, we recently did some valuation work, and for the last few years, we've averaged total returns, income plus capital growth, ranging between 15 to 20% per annum, which is quite outstanding.
That is outstanding, especially in this market.
Yep.
With the slowdown recently.
And we valued everything as at June the 30th last year when the market was at the bottom.
At the worst.
Yeah.
Right. Now, another myth you probably want to explode is commercial real estate. Offices can be empty more often than, say, residential, or is that not the case?
It can be the case, and we're not terribly keen on high-rise office investments because you very rarely find one of these big office buildings totally 100% leased. And with commercial property investments, if you have vacant space, the landlord or the owner has to pick up the outgoings on the vacant space.
Right. Which is doesn't do the numbers very good at all.
No, it doesn't help.
Okay, now Rob, turning to you. Inner city apartments is what you specialise in, is that right?
That's right. It's just fundamentally it's strata. Everything's strata.
Right. Explain strata to the uninitiated like me.
multiple lots on one title or one diagram.
So typically a project building, these are strata titles. Is that what a strata title is?
Yeah.
You've got green title, you've got strata title.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. You've got survey strata, but survey strata is a vacant land. As soon as you build on that, that becomes strata. Strata is, define strata, it's layers. And that's fundamentally what it is.
Right, so when the person owns the inner city apartment, something's not even been built yet, they're expecting a return on it. What in fact do they own?
They own everything that's on the strata plan. Everything that's exclusive use is what you own. Now, with a lot of the old strata plans, there's some things like balconies and car parks that are not on the strata plan.
I see.
And it may have an allocation on there for the use of, but really what you own is what's on the strata plan for exclusive use.
And opposed to, I suppose, comparing it to normal residential house, stick a tenant in there, I suppose you can, with investing in an inner city apartment or a project, it's not even been built yet, you put 10% down, is that right? And balance on completion, and then you can have it rented out straight away?
Look, off the plan, it's normally 10%, cash unconditional contract, and settlement could be, whatever the terms of the contract is, could be 7 or it could be 21 days from the issue of title.
And what about investment as a vehicle? How good are these as investment vehicles? We've just seen the difference between commercial real estate as an investment, but inner city apartments.
Inner city apartments, you get a higher return and a lower vacancy. That's what we've found.
Compared to normal residential?
Yeah, and generally there's a lot less maintenance. And
are Perth people getting into the habit of living in inner city apartments? Like we're used to this. I used to live in Singapore. It's all normal. London, probably Sydney and Melbourne. Are Perth people getting used to living back in the city in these projects?
It's incredible. 5 years ago there was it was more investors and owner occupiers getting in, but now it's everyone. It's blue ribbon. People people are more into the lifestyle. You know, it's getting driven by demographics and lifestyle change.
And people moving in from interstate, people moving in from overseas, they're more used to it as well, I suppose.
And traditionally, people selling the houses in the suburbs.
Downsizing, kids leaving.
I mean, retirees is a massive market. First home buyers, you know, a lot of different shifts in family fundamentals, and look, it's great. It's exciting.
John, I want to turn to you. These Mair Property Securities, these property syndicates, again, explain to the uninitiated, what is a property syndicate? What's a typical investor profile of someone looking to get into this sort of thing?
Usually a retiree, somebody who's managing his own private superannuation fund, and they're looking for a secure return on their monies invested. And we often put them together with perhaps another 10 or 12 investors and pool their resources so that we can buy a worthwhile property investment which they couldn't afford on their own account.
So this would be a very big estate or a big area that is going to be developed into shopping malls or something like that?
It could be a shopping centre, it might be an industrial warehouse, it could be a medical centre, a low-rise office building. And we're very careful about what we purchase for our investors and go through a very extensive due diligence period. And they're proving to be very popular.
Right. And you've been running these for many years?
Probably 30 years.
So you get the property syndicate together yourself from
Yes, we
source?
do.
You go
Yes,
out and source the opportunity and then market the syndicate to your investors?
Correct, yes.
All right, well, thank you both very much for being on the Aussiehome TV show. I think I've learned a tremendous amount just in 5 minutes. Commercial real estate, inner city apartment and investing in property trusts. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much, Rob.
It's quite all right.
Thank you.